I'm Joan, and I'm your first Golden Bachelorette.
Welcome to the Golden Bachelorette recap, our first, but of many, as we go through love in the golden age. Joan Vassos takes on love at a mere 61 years young, where she gets to meet 24 senior hotties. And we welcome Dawn, we have Kendall, we have Mike, all Golden Bachelorette experts starting last night. Welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you guys are on board with this because I have to talk to people about it. You can't just watch this show and not talk to people about it.
It's true.
It's like, honestly, it's really group therapy at this point. I feel like watching these men come into this house was so lovely. There's just like this great backstory with the Golden Bachelor and Bachelorette where they have had these thick, full lives that they've lived before.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think that we took this a little more seriously than I expected. We did have a draft. We do have official draft. We will post who has who. Mm-hmm. And I think we've landed on whoever wins, everyone else has to give them a baked good that they made. Are we all okay with that?
Yeah, for sure.
I guess.
This is the first Dawn's learning of it, but I think you're okay with that, right?
Yeah, I mean,
cool.
you know me.
I figured you
I'll
were
take
okay.
a sugar item. That's fine.
So, as we've talked about before, our Golden Bachelorette this year is Joan Vassos. Joan Vassos was on Gary's season. She left early because her daughter had a child and was dealing with, she was pretty open about it, was dealing with postpartum depression and wanted her mom home.
Oh.
So
I didn't know the reason because I didn't watch The Golden Bachelor.
no problem. I got your back. We did get a tease that Gary may be entering this season.
Or in this room? Gary, is that you?
I'm Gary,
Nailed
and
it.
I'm back for you, Joan.
No.
I've missed you, and if you wouldn't have left, I would have chosen you.
It does feel okay. We have to talk about that later, but
We do.
So Joan kicks it off by telling us her backstory, which she was married for 33 years to John, who had pancreatic cancer, who seems like he's still with her, still very much so, somebody who she considers like her love of her life, which I think is going to play a part in this season quite a bit. I think John will be a character we see come up quite a bit. And I mean that in a great way because I think that is such a layered story to the Golden Bachelorette. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't stop us from running over to the limo and
Because
having.
there's a bunch of horny old men ready for her, right?
Oh, and are they ever? It was. What
Dawn, do you watch The Bachelor and Bachelorette?
I do, but I've fallen off in the last couple of years, just with the
Okay.
transition with the time slot that I have. I just, it just didn't fit in. So
I'm curious, what made you want to watch The Golden Bachelorette this year?
I wanted to watch it because I wanted to see the guys on any Bachelorette tend to get aggressive with each other, like, and they fight for their lady. And I wanted to see some people that weren't going to be so aggressive and make it like a big wrestling match.
Right.
I mean, they have their own lives, and I wanted to see how more mature guys would compete with each other. Mm-hmm. And that interests me. And I think she's lovely.
Yeah.
And I got hooked on her story just by watching a promo of the show. And I'm like, I want this woman to find someone. She's great.
And I'm wondering, I'm just really curious because we've never actually talked about it. Brittany and Mike, you don't watch The Bachelor, but you both watched The Golden Bachelor and loved it.
Yeah.
Like, why, Mike, why did you want to watch this?
I don't like The Bachelor because I feel like it's so forced and it's not real love, and that's not how anybody actually finds love. Now, what I like about this show is they are very open and talk about the fact that we can find love in very different places. And I like that it sends a message that, hey, just because we're in our, quote, golden years, we're at this point of life, we can still go out there and try to find love. And I think that's a message that they really drive home on the show. And I really like that a lot.
Brittany?
Yeah, I think I had a lot of fun with the Golden Bachelor because, like Dawn said, it wasn't these women that were trying to tear each other down. There was actually one only awkward fight that was a miscommunication. But I like watching people get along. I know I watch Real Housewives, so that doesn't always seem to hold true
there
in my
are
reality
times for
show.
that, yeah.
But I loved watching I fell so madly in love with the group of women that came together for Gary's season on The Golden Bachelor. I was really excited. And they really did kick that off right at the beginning with they had this great ode to all of all the contestants' family, which I think is kind of the tone they want to hit. Is like these people most likely seem like they're going to get along. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Kendall, so you are a big Bachelor fan. What did you notice the difference between the two?
Well, I did not watch The Golden Bachelor. I just wasn't. I said this yesterday. If you were with us on a radio show, I said, I love The Bachelor. I've been there since season 2. The Golden Bachelor, I just was like, to me, it wasn't the age, which I think with some people, maybe that's why. It was because I didn't see how it could work. These people have very developed lives. They have their home, their family, their structure. How is it ever going to work with people across the country from each other? So you guys talked me into it. Mm-hmm. I watched the Open, and I told you I had strong feelings.
You did.
I did. Brittany's been very, very anxious about this all day. I would say borderline angry with me. Right?
Yeah. I
have to.
Yeah, let's hear it.
You got to save it for the show.
I know.
What are your strong feelings?
I loved it.
Yes.
Yay!
I did. I was so surprised by how much I liked it because I had went into it with this other mentality, right? That I didn't think I would like it, having someone who watched every season of The Bachelor and Bachelorette. The way that she spoke about her husband and the way the gentlemen who were part of the show were talking about their lives and their children, there was an earnestness there. There was a sincerity there that I haven't seen on The Bachelor and Bachelorette in a really long time. And I know people said that, but I think I had to see it for myself. I started watching that show before social media, right?
Yeah.
When people would maybe do it like to get on TV, sure.
But they really did want to find love.
They really did want to. And there's some seasons that it works and it's really fun to watch.
Totally.
But most seasons... And I don't know if people are watching this right now on YouTube, like comment, because you know what I mean. If you're people who have watched over and over like I have, that it's just kind of started to go downhill into this just fun, and to Dawn's point, like fight competition. And this just seemed like, hey, we all want each other to find love. Hey, we all know the beauty of love. I want her to be happy so desperately.
I know.
I absolutely loved it. It gave me all the good feelings. I had chills watching some of it.
I cried.
It was so sweet. So
yes.
I cried like 3 times.
Yeah, my mom said the same thing. Like I had that weird feeling where you almost get a headache and like, is that water in my eyes? I don't know.
Because these feel like real people. When,
Yes.
I mean, when one of the first contestants that comes out, I mean, you feel emotion for them. I mean, let's talk about the contestants. Mm-hmm. Pascal is one of the first guys that come out, and I think he might. I don't want to say this in an inappropriate way.
Oh no!
But I would like to bang the hell out of him. Thank you.
Only if he's talking.
Oh my gosh.
And I just wants him to speak French.
And I don't mean like when he was young. I mean right now.
Right now. Yes, Brittany.
Pascal was fine as hell. And they shot, I mean, he came out with a French accent, a salon owner in Chicago. I was obsessed.
And he asked her right away, like, how are you? How are you feeling about this? And I was like, wow, that never happens on the regular Bachelor and Bachelorette ever. And multiple guys did that. But
yeah. And then one of our next contestants that came out was Kim. He was a Navy captain, 69 years old. He was married for 8.5 years. I mean, and he loved his ex-wife. And I love what they bring that. I mean, I just think what Kendall says holds true is like, I think we can all think of a person in our lives that is this person. It makes you think of the human experience.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Kim is also a widower.
Yeah.
And so that really pulled on the heartstrings. They could get along in that way with that thing in common.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can we also just mention, though, there were a couple guys that really muffed it?
Yes.
Like Christopher. So this guy gets out of the limo. He seems very nice. I think it was Christopher. And he's got 2 shot glasses. And I'm like, all right, well, here's normal Bachelorette. I know what I'm dealing with here. And he's like, well, you know, since we're older, I thought we could get a little regular. And he gave her a prune juice shot. I'm like, bro, get back in the car.
No.
Like, you do not give a woman a prune juice shot.
There's nothing you should think about when you're thinking about somebody being sexy, aka sex, is also being regular.
Right. Like, I'm not trying to like
Let's
beat
not
my
mix
pants.
those two.
No, those
I'm
are.
not trying to crap my pants within an hour of meeting all these men in this beautiful dress. Like, no, bro, I don't want your shot.
Nobody wants prune juice. I think.
No.
Hey, we're gonna have to come back and talk about the rest of the contestants, if that's okay with you, Dawn. Are you chill with that?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Awesome. We'll be right back on Brittany and Kendall to talk more Golden Bachelorette.
We just ended on Christopher and his prune juice.
Oh, not a high note for
No.
anybody.
Someone we got to talk about is someone who Mike was excited about. Chalk.
Chalk.
Chuck.
How you feeling about Chalk, Mike?
I liked it. Got weird because Chalk showed up with the chalk and noodle soup or whatever we called
Yeah,
it.
the soup
Came
guy.
up with homemade soup.
It's not that weird to bring food and edibles on your way out of the limo. I will throw that out there.
Okay, and like, I'm
Edibles would've been
sorry
better.
for all my Donna and Steve heads. Soup is the least sexy food. It just is. It's just a fact.
So we start with soup. We end with the fact that he climbed Kilimanjaro and he's got a dog named Super Tubbs. I kind of love him.
I love him.
He gives off a little bit of jerk vibes, like
I know.
a little bit
little
of
bro.
like I'm kind of a big deal. If you don't know, I climbed Kilimanjaro. Like
And I've been on a safari many times, and you're
times.
going to come on the next one with
There are
me.
some
Exactly.
there are some beige flags here. Am
Obviously,
I right?
Yes.
as soon as he started kind of being a jerk, I wrote, I think I kind of like him.
Yeah, that can be attractive, Mike. I mean,
Definitely for Brittany, it
yeah.
can be.
My type.
Brittany really liked someone else. At least she thought she was very entertaining. Chicago Jack.
Oh my God, Jack. I wrote I hate him because Jack rolled up and he was singing to her, and I hate when people like it's like the Barbie movie. No, that's
Yeah.
he.
He sang Sinatra,
But he
though.
sang too much of Sinatra. I think 2 lines would have been fine, but you could just tell her. She's like, "Are we done? No, we're gonna
it's
still
the
get
worst.
to." We
still
did it,
smiling.
my. Even that's too long.
But he cooked for her.
He did cook for her. He also gave us a tour of the Bachelorette house, and here he goes.
My God, there's like a little cove everywhere. This is, look at this place. I mean, we got a freaking pool that's unbelievable. I mean, I bet it's some nice places, but probably never this nice. I'm in the Bachelor Mansion, and I'm enjoying every bit of it. It's the coolest place. I can't wait to jump in the pool. You do go in the pool, right? Look at this. It's almost like a hippie den. God, this, I don't even know what the hell that is. It's like that might be a winery or something in there. Look at that. Okay, I can tell you right now, we got about 72 candles up there. I think I saw something similar to this in Mexico, but nothing even close. Not after I walked around for a while. This is like cool.
Listen,
We are Jack.
we are Jack. If Jack doesn't get an HGTV special where he just walks around and verbalizes what he sees,
But Brittany,
what is the internet even for?
he needs a co-host.
Oh, who
That's
should he
true.
take on?
Charles L.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, I love him, and I know it's a stupid pick
I
because
know.
he's my last pick, but I just love him.
There's
Tell us about Charles L. Though.
Yeah.
Charles L. was amazed in the kitchen that the cookware was real
Yeah.
and it wasn't a prop. He was just, he was also in love with the mansion.
Yes.
He was like, they have a fireplace.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
And
He
it
was
was
shocked when he
cute.
got a rose.
he opened the fridge and goes, so much meat.
Yeah, he was great.
I
mean,
loved him.
He is so sweet and gentle. And then they showed a great video from his daughter encouraging him,
Yes.
which is why I feel not so bad in having him as
No.
one of my picks.
Ooh.
You know, because they don't run packages on people that don't end up going far.
True.
This is true. Okay, one more entrance that we wanted to talk about. One more person, I should say, that we wanted to talk about a little briefly is David. Now, David, when we originally saw the pictures come out for all the suitors, he's a rancher. He's very attractive man. He comes in riding a horse, and everyone's like, "Oh, of course, this guy's got a horse." Gets off the horse. And I don't know, he probably should have stayed on it because number one, it was a little bit of a fumble. He couldn't really have much of a conversation with her. Number two, the horse ran away.
Yeah.
Literally
Hilarious.
galloped away.
PA had to like run after it. Like that would have been my job if I worked there. Like,
I know.
I'll
And
get the horse.
He didn't make it, which
I
everyone was
know.
like,
Shocked.
wow, okay.
Shocked.
It's a weird one.
But as we said before, we are doing a Golden Bachelorette draft. There's already bad blood. Kendall came for Pascal only because I took Jordan.
Wait, back up.
What?
We did a snake draft.
Yeah.
So I did get the 4 and 5 pick.
Yeah, I know. And
You
what
three
you
took
complained
my
about.
first 3 picks, though. I had
know.
3 number 1. I was like, oh, if I get one of these 3 guys,
Why did you pick Pascal? We know he's not going to make it.
I feel like we should start hold please. I feel like we should start with Dawn got the number one pick.
Yes,
And you went
that was
with
Mark.
a good
Mark,
one.
Kelsey's dad.
Yeah, great pick. Great pick.
He wasn't in this episode very much.
He wasn't, but I did not watch what's coming up next on the season. I hate watching those because I tune in on things and then I feel like it spoils it for me. So without knowing anything about any visuals or anything, I picked him and I hope he's in those future.
No, he's got a good vibe. Him and Mark and Keith have very similar vibes,
Yeah.
which is like stable, strong man vibes. And I think that's her type. So I feel like that's a great
Oh
pick.
yeah, she said like this guy makes me feel safe.
Yeah.
That's what she said about who did she say?
Mike's
that about?
number one
Keith,
pick.
my next
Yeah.
pick. Yeah.
Keith.
So Keith got the first impression rose last
And-
night
The first kiss.
and the first kiss. Yeah.
I thought just get your hand off her knee though. That kind of made me a little bit like, don't you touch her.
Erky. Okay, so here's the deal. I really have a bone to pick with Mike.
yeah,
What's that?
pick that bone.
Okay. So as someone who has watched all the Bachelors, all the Bachelorettes of forever and ever and ever, I can attest and very confidently say this. I would say 8 out of 10, almost 9 out of 10 women on the Bachelorette, whoever they give their first impression rose to, wins the show. Like women know what we want. We know what we want right away. Everything else is just kind of for TV. And so when you and I had this conversation, I was like, if he takes my pick
Yeah.
out of this
He
one thing I'm an
did.
expert in, I'm an expert at the Bachelorette. And what does he do?
He came for you.
It was random.
it's
You
the-
selected the fourth pick.
Whatever, Mike.
It's the opposite on The Bachelor.
It
because
is.
Oh, yeah, never
it's
that girl.
almost a curse to
Yes.
have the first impression.
Oh,
rose.
because they just want sex. They just want all the sex with the girl.
And
That's
then
all they want.
they find out more things about them.
So don't she loony?
We do have to talk about probably my least favorite time ever in Bachelorette history or Bachelor history when they attempted to play where they were calling it pickleball, but I feel very strongly that that is not what happened in that driveway that night.
Don't be a pickleball snob.
You're not alone because Greg was an absolute pickleball snob. He's like, I don't know what they're doing in that driveway, but it's not pickleball. I know pickleball.
I just gotta go.
Okay, Greg.
I felt so bad for him because everyone wanted to look like, hey, I'm supposed to look like I enjoy spontaneity, I enjoy sports, and so they all had to pick up paddles, and
That
we're
was
just
terrifying.
violently.
Balls were flying everywhere.
Brittany, I want the people to know who your number one pick was.
My number one pick one is Jordan. People probably should know that Kendall is also married to a Jordan, so it felt a little rude to take Jordan from Kendall.
Especially because he was one of my, 3 2-star guys.
Yeah.
And that was the third one. And
What-
then I was left with my last.
Well, you did get revenge because I made it very clear that I want to bangarang Pascal.
So with my fourth pick, I took Dan. We haven't talked
Love
about him
that
at
pick.
all.
Oh, yeah,
He's the
let's talk
very
Dan.
sleeper
Yes.
pick.
Love
Yeah.
that pick.
But he cried a lot, very emotional, and you
love
can tell
that.
he really wants to be there. And I think they've got good chemistry.
They
Yes.
looked very cute together. Like they look like a cute couple together.
Very comfortable. And then, of course, like we said, this is a snake draft, meaning I got the fifth pick. And I just wanted to piss off Brittany. So I went Pascal.
And it accurately did that.
But I have something to say,
What?
per usual. Brittany, how do you feel about a trade?
A trade?
Oh, what?
A Pascal for Jordan? Here's the thing, though. I don't think Pascal has a chance, but I would like to own him.
So is it Jordan or is it Pascal?
How
You're
about
on
this?
the clock.
I'll give you
Don't do it.
Kim and Charles K for Pascal.
Nope, deal's off.
my
I will take
God.
Jordan for Pascal or nothing.
I can't do that trade
Don't
because
do it.
there's no way Pascal. He's too much of a player, and I know it. That's
Okay,
why
I'll
I
give
like
you
him.
Jordan. I'll give you Pascal and Gil.
Who the hell
Or
is
Jordan.
Gil?
Throwing Gil.
I don't
Hey,
even know who
he
he
could
is.
be a sleeper.
Oh my goodness.
Come on.
Gil doesn't even want Gil.
Brittany, I want you to think about it. I want you to
Let me
think
think
about
on
your
it.
decisions.
Give me until the next episode. But it's
you
hard
did-
for me to pick Pascal because I know I have bad taste in men.
Okay.
I know that about me.
My offer will be on the table until we meet again next week.
I think Pascal is going to be too persnickety.
yeah.
Don,
I think
do
that-
not get involved in this. This is our pick
Oh my
situation.
gosh.
No, I don't.
No, I think that he's going to
you're right.
have some bad qualities.
Yeah.
I dated a French guy once, and
Don't stop.
Also,
Stop this. Stop that.
He
Stop
led.
it.
He
Stop
led.
it.
He led with like where I would have problems with, where I would say I choose you. He'd be like, I want to pamper you. I want to fly you to Paris. As soon as a man started
And
saying
control
that,
you.
yeah. As soon as a man, you should run.
it, Dawn.
But every bone in my body was like, Choose him. I love him.
I know. On the outside, it seems like a good pick, but I have a feeling.
I want to give the people, before we have to go, everybody's pick. So Brittany went with Kim, the Navy vet, as her second pick. Mike took in Jonathan. He's the one who is in his early 60s, but looks like he's 34 from Iowa. He's got 2 younger kids, though, so it's going to be a
he was
problem.
blindfolded, right?
And I
Nice
didn't like
Okay.
the blindfolded thing was weird.
Yeah.
The poem was good though.
Poem
He
was great.
Dawn took Guy, the surgeon.
He's an ER doctor.
Which is
doctor.
hot.
He's good looking, and I just think you say ER doctor, and it's
wrote-
gonna raise their
I just wrote meow for him.
yeah.
Then Dawn got the next pick in the 3rd round. She took Chalk.
Good Chuck.
Chalk noodle soup. That guy. Mike went with Jack.
Oh my God, there's like a little cove everywhere.
Brittany went with Charles K. He
Yep.
did. He came out on a walker. He fake
Willy
needed
Wonka.
like help,
He
and
Willy
then he
Wonka
did a
did.
push up.
Really want good at
I
That guy.
went with Gary. He was the hugger. He did the fake phone call with her. I just think he's fun. I love his energy. Then I
is
took
fun.
Gil, the guy with the softball toss, as my 4th rounder. Brittany took Christopher, who I don't even remember.
Christopher is very attractive, but he didn't get much play.
Okay, and then Greg for Mike.
Pickleball snob.
Pickleball snob. And finally, Dawn with Charles L., who just can't believe that everything in the house is real.
We do have to acknowledge Bob because he is, what did you call him, Mike?
Lightning goober.
Lightning goober.
Oh my God, that guy.
All right, we have a great season. We're going to be doing this every week with you on the Golden Bachelorette. We're going to be on YouTube and be here on the show. We would love to have you guys along for the ride.